Let me tell you a story, okay? When I was a young boy, I lived in Texas. It was a small town in Texas, and I would often see this mangy old dog crossing the street right from where I live. I lived on 235 Elmwood Drive. And this mangy old dog, I think it was like a German Shepherd or something like that, but I'd always see it cross the street right in front of my house. And it always had this look on its face that it was so sad. It broke my heart looking at that dog every time. It was so sad. Anyway, every time, like I said, every time I'd always see the dog crossing the street in front of my house. That went on for about 10 years. You know, the dog was actually a puppy whenever I first saw it, and I was a kid. Sorry, no, my bad. Not 10 years. It was about 6 years. Sorry, that was a different story. About 6 years. And one day I talked to my mom and dad, and I said, "Mom and Dad, can we do something about this? This dog keeps crossing the street. Does he have an owner, or does he have a home to go back to?" And they said, "Well, Johnny, we don't know. This dog just came here and started, wandering around. I think he's homeless. He doesn't have an owner or a home to go back to." So I was like, that ain't right. That ain't right. He's an animal. He can't take care of himself, or it's harder for him to take care of himself. So I begged my mom and dad. I said, "Please, please, can I take the dog? I mean, no one owns him anyway. He doesn't have a home to go to. It's not like people are going to miss him." And they said, "Okay, as long as you feed him, walk him, bathe him, as long as you take care of him, no issue there." Man, I was so happy. That was, oh my God, that was one of the happiest moments of my life, getting that dog. I named him. What was it? I had so many pets over the years. I forget. He was my first pet. Bruno, that was his name. That's right. That's right. His name was Bruno. That's right. I called him Bruno. I named him after my favorite wrestler, Bruno Sammartino. The reason why I called him that was because Bruno Sammartino's his style and his persona in wrestling was he was a very, very strong man. Very big towering figure too. This was a big dog as well. And this dog had been through stuff. He could see there was cuts and there was bruises and gouges in his body. Sits telling me the story of the fact that he had been abused. But he was only a little puppy. He wasn't very big. He was big for his size, but he wasn't fully grown, I could tell. And I knew he was gonna be a big dog because of the breed. Oh yeah, he was a little Rottweiler. I call him Bruno. He's my favorite. Out of all the pets I ever had, he was my favorite. My absolute favorite. Mainly because he was my first pet, but oh man, I love that dog. I loved him. That was many years ago now, but I still remember that dog like he died just a year ago. But he died, I think it's about 28 years from now. 28 years since he died, yeah. 28 years. Man, that's, wow. I can't believe that. 28 years since he has passed away. Man, that's nuts. Hard to believe it's been 28 years. Well, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. whenever I had Bruno, I had him for about, because big dogs, they don't live as long as little dogs, but he didn't want to die. He didn't want to leave us too early. He defied the odds. He lived to about 16 years. And he was tough as nails from the time he was a pup to the day he died. He never quit on life. He never ever let like the smallest thing bother. He was a tough as nails dog. That's why I called him Bruno. As I said, Bruno San Martino. He was a tough SOB. And my dog, he was a tough SOB as well. Man, he was tough. Friendliest dog you ever meet. Happiest dog you ever meet, the toughest dog you'll ever meet, man. He was tough as nails. Wow. Amazing how the stuff he'd been through. Dogs in general, I had many dogs after him, but he was by far the most unique. Any dog I have had, they're always very resilient. He was an absolute one of a kind breed though. A one of a kind dog. Just no one else like Bruno. Funny, the old saying goes, nothing's good as the original. He was my first dog. First is always the best. First of anything is always the best than the next ones, usually. But I remember the day he passed away. That was close to one of the worst moments. Close to one of the worst days of my life. Close. It was probably about second place. Because Bruno was with me for, like I said, 16 years. And he was a huge part of my life. Huge part of my life. And, it just, when he went, like I said, when he passed away, it was like I had lost a brother. He meant that much to me. We have my old childhood home here in Texas. We have his gravestone out on our front lawn it says in memory of Bruno. You were more than a dog, you were a member of the family. It's just, he has his date of birth and everything, the day he died. Yeah, he was quite the dog, man. And I love all the dogs I've had, but I've never had a dog like him, never. After him, I never really had a lot of issue with a lot of dogs. A lot of dogs I had were very nice and very easy to train and whatnot. But I never had a dog that was like him, where I just felt that intense, intimate connection. Like this dog was like he had a soul, like he was a person. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the story there. Hope y'all listening. Have a good day.